Hi everybody, it's Richard here and welcome to another video. It's nearly 3 days since my last video, so I'm doing really well staying away from the camera. This time I thought I would look at some of my 45s. Now, as sure you probably all know, I'm a big fan of the 7-inch single. But there was one of the questions in the quarantine vinyl tag that actually made me decide to do this video, and whenever I come to that single I'll explain why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some singles I have that I think are really good but they didn't make the UK top 40. Now the only rule I have with this is I have to have the single. So for example, I'm not going to pull out an LP and say this track didn't make the UK top 40. Because something like Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl is probably the most famous one for not making the charts at all until about a couple of years ago when it scraped into the top 75. So there's quite a few here, so we'll stop dithering and get on with it. So the first one is by Squeeze in 1980, Pulling Muscles from a Shell. Probably my second favourite Squeeze single, only got to number 44. Just don't understand why. It's an absolutely brilliant song from the Archie Barchie album. This one is real good fun, and this is from 1981, and this is 10-Pole Tudor, Throwing My Baby Out with the Bathwater. I think this is hilarious. It really is good. It's a real good sing-along song. It's every bit as good as Swords of a Thousand Men, which got top 10, but it only reached number 49. Don't understand it. Great song. You'll find most of these are around the early 80s. This is one I mentioned before as well. I've never shown a single, and this is Fingerprints, and this is Bulletproof Heart from 1980, and this failed a chart. It's actually a magnificent song. I'm going to put a link below for this single just to show how good it is. So Fingerprints, Bulletproof Heart, 1980, failed the chart. 1983, and from their Bite album, this is Altered Images, Love to Stay, which is a gorgeous dreamy song. It's really catchy. It's a beautiful album, Bite. It is slightly disco-y, but it's not really. Half of it's produced by the great Mike Chapman and half of it's produced by the even greater Tony Visconti. I'm not too sure which one this is. I think this is Tony Visconti who produced this one. It doesn't say, but Love to Stay from the Bite album, and this reached number 46. I showed this in my ELO countdown, but didn't actually show the picture sleeve version. And this is The Way Life's Meant to Be from 1981, and this failed to make the top 75, never mind the top 40. I think it might have got to 80 something, but I don't think they were counting the charts there, or officially counting the charts, but brilliant song, and it's in my top 3 ELO singles of all time. Okay, from 1980, and this is in the wrong sleeve, I don't have a picture sleeve, and this is not a Motown single, it's an A&M, and this is Joan Armatrading, Rosie. It only managed to get to number 49. It's got a nice reggae beat to it, and it's basically another Kinks Lola about cross-dressing. It's a really great track, and it's on her track record, greatest hits album. Always loved this. So Joan Armatrading, Rosie. This one was first released in 85, got to 79, and then reissued in 86, got to 56. And this is the reissue of Going Down to Liverpool by the Bangles from their fantastic debut album All Over the Place. This is the Katrina and the Waves song from their debut international album, which is absolutely fantastic as well. So the Bangles, Going Down to Liverpool. 1982, and the follow up to Bow Wow Wow's Go Wild in the Country is See Jungle, or well, it's actually called Jungle Boy, but it is a fantastic song, edited remix version. Love it. A really good groove to it. As I say, these sort of songs sound like the Adam the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier. This is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and this only got to number 45. Okay, a bit of a guilty pleasure, and I don't care. I love Bucks Fizz. I've got all their singles, and this is one from 1985, and this is probably their last really great single in my book. I got to number 43, and it's called You and Your Heart So Blue, and it was originally on the Writings on the Wall album, but whenever they reissued the CD, they were changing from, I think it was from RCA to Polydor. They reissued the CD without this on it, because this is still an RCA song. So You and Your Heart So Blue from 1985, number 43. 1978, and the debut single from the Lionheart album by Kate Bush, and this is Hammer Horror, and this is absolutely magnificent. I think this is better than Wow. This only got to 44. I don't understand why. It's got a real brilliant video. It's a very basic video, but she looks really creepy in it, and she looks fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So Hammer Horror, number 43 from number 44, sorry, from 1978. Okay, from 1982, and the first single from the Clash's Combat Rock album, and this is Know Your Rights, and this is my favourite off that. It got to number 43. I just love this, and it's got a real good sort of rockabilly guitar bit at the end with a piano one note thump. Basically, it's hard to explain. I just love the end bit of this, and I just really do like this single. This was bought at the time it came out, and I do have the little postcard or whatever, wee sticker on here. So the Clash, Know Your Rights from 1982. Okay, this one's an old song, but it was reissued in 1994. I think it was originally a B-side, and it was used as an ad for Volkswagen. And this is the Coasters, Sorry But I'm Going to Have to Pass. And as soon as I heard that in the ad, I had to buy the single, and I absolutely love this. As I say, 1994, and this got to number 41. So I'm glad to include this, because if I had gone one higher I wouldn't be able to. But this is absolutely magnificent, and this was then put on the CD of the Best of the Coasters. I think it was originally a B-side, but brilliant song, and I loved the ad as well. It was a fantastic ad. Okay, next from 1984, and this got to number 48 in the charts, and it's The Imposter. In other words, it's Elvis Costello, and it's Peace in Our Time, and it's from the Goodbye Cruel World album. Again, I love it. It's very stripped back, it's acoustic, there's a beautiful little horn section in it. I just love it. Fantastic song. And that's Peace in Our Time from 1984. I'm getting through these rightly. 1978, Dave Edmunds, and the single from Tracks on Wax 4, Deborah. Didn't chart at all. It's a very Buddy Holly-esque song. Absolutely brilliant, written by Nick Lowe and Dave Edmunds. Okay, 1981, and the debut single by Eurythmics, and this is Never Gonna Cry Again, and this is, for me, a new romantic classic. It's got a brilliant video as well on a beach, and he's got a really red hair. It's absolutely fantastic song, very moody piece, and this only managed to hit 63 in the charts, but they were to make it a couple of years later. So Eurythmics, Never Gonna Cry Again. 1980, and Billy Joel, Don't Ask Me Why, from his Glass Houses album. This failed to chart at all. It's an acoustic number, really, really good. Sometimes I like it whenever a band like, or an artist like Billy Joel or even Elton John does an acoustic number, because normally they're usually piano led. This is really, really good. It's the highlight for me off that album, and that failed to chart. Talking of Elton John, and the second single from Jump Up in 1982, and this is Empty Garden, and this was a tribute to John Lennon, and this is the best tribute there is to John Lennon, but for some reason this failed to make the top 40. It only hit number 51, and it's the best song of Jump Up. Okay, 1981, and I'm actually surprised this did chart at all, because by this time the Kinks were not charting, and this is Better Things, and so this did actually quite well to get to number 46. But this is their best song of the 1980s, and it's from the to be then released, Give the People What They Want album. So this came out first. It's an absolutely brilliant song, and I know in the Ray Davies album that was released about 10 years ago, Ray and Bruce Springsteen did a cover of this, a duet, which is alright, but nothing beats this original. Rock Pile, I know I'm trying not to show more than one artist, but I have to show the Rock Pile. I know Dave Edmunds is in Rock Pile, but this is Teacher Teacher from 1980. It's a cover version. Nick Lowe takes the lead vocal. This is fantastic, and this is the theme tune to the Bad Teacher album or soundtrack, the film with Cameron Diaz, which I thought was hilarious. So Teacher Teacher failed to chart in 1980. Okay, Meat Loaf, and from 1984, and this is Nowhere Fast, and this is from his Bad Attitude album. This is really good. This was the follow-up to Modern Girl, which wasn't as good, but this one is written by Jim Steinman, and it's a fantastic song. It is very 80s. It sounds like the 80s, but it's a really, really good song, and it only managed to get number 67. This is the song that made me decide to do this. This is Hazel O'Connor, Cover Plus, We've All Grown Up. This was released in 1981. It only got to 41. It's a brilliant, brilliant song. In the last video, the Quarantine vinyl tag, I did the whack-a-mole and pulled out the album this came from, and that made me think, oh, that single didn't do too well. I could do a video on singles that didn't do too well, so here we go. Oh, I love this. Great single, great song. So Hazel O'Connor, Cover Plus, We've All Grown Up. From 1976, and this is Mike Oldfield's William Tell Overture, which he does Rossini's William Tell Overture. I love it, it's fantastic. It's him and the guitar and all various other instruments. It almost sounds like something you would Morris dance to, but it is very, very good. And it wasn't on any album. It did get onto the Complete Collection CD version, but yeah, this is the single, and this failed to chart. 1981, as I say, most of these are from the early 80s, and this is the Pretenders' Day After Day, and this was the follow-up to Message of Love, and this is the best song of Pretenders 2 in my book, and it only reached number 45. 1989, and we have, you've probably noticed most of these are in alphabetical order. The Proclaimers, I'm on My Way, catchy as hell, from the Sunshine on Leith album. Only reached 43, and it featured in one of the Shrek movies. I'm not too sure if it's Shrek 1 or Shrek 2, but this is absolutely magnificent. I love that cartoon sleeve as well. So I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. 1973, Disgrace This never charted. Queen's debut, Keep Yourself Alive. Well, I suppose it was her debut, so the debuts are always hard to chart, but are difficult to chart, but it's now a Queen classic, but it never still gets on the greatest hits. Brilliant, brilliant song written by Brian May. 1980, and we have the Skids' Woman in Winter, which is a single. I think it might be the second or third single from the album Absolute Game. The debut single was Circus Games, which did a little bit better, just scraped the top 40. This is really good, but they must have lost a fortune on this, because this single came like with a comic book and it sold nothing, but it's a remix version of the album and edited down, and it's excellent. Okay, 1985, and we have, let me move this a little bit. We have Slade's Mysterious Mr. Jones. Got to number 50 in the charts from their Rogues Gallery album. Brilliant song, in my top 10 Slade singles. Absolutely love it. 1994, and the second single from Morrissey's Vauxhall and I is Hold On To Your Friends. Another great song. I'm surprised this didn't do any better, because the first single from the album reached top 10, which was The More You Ignore Me, The Closer I Get. This only got to number 48. Did I mention Slade got to number 50? Well, I don't know. 1991, and Tanita Tikaram, Only the Ones We Love. Brilliant backing vocals from Jennifer Warnes. So Tanita Tikaram, this is Only the Ones We Love, and it got to number 69. Deserved much better. 1983, and another Jim Steinman song, and this was the follow-up to Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler, and this is Faster Than the Speed of Night, and this is a really, really great rocker. I love it. It's really good. It's a wonder Meatloaf didn't actually cover this himself, because they all seem to swap about and cover each other's songs if they're Jim Steinman songs. So this was the opener to her #1 album, Faster Than the Speed of Night. Brilliant song. 1979, and we have the Undertones, and this is Get Over You, and this only reached number 57. Faster Than the Speed of Night reached 43, by the way. I'm trying to speed up here. Yeah, my favourite Undertones single is from the reissue of their debut album. It wasn't featured on the original issue, but this is absolutely brilliant. So this got to number 57 in 1979, Get Over You, the Undertones. 1975, and we have Roy Wood, and this is Look Through the Eyes of a Fool, or Looking Through the Eyes of a Fool. This failed to chart. This is catchy as hell. It's from his Mustard album. It just shows that, you know, Roy at that time was associated with glam rock. Glam rock was falling apart, and that's why it never charted. If it had been released in 1973, it would have been a top 10 hit without a doubt. Okay, 1977, Reckless Eric, Whole Wide World. This has been covered by the Proclaimers. It's also been covered by the Monkees, and it's a well-known song produced by Nick Lowe. Absolutely brilliant. It's from the 12-inch version of his debut album. The 10-inch doesn't feature it, but I think this is magnificent. Whole Wide World, Reckless Eric. In fact, none of Reckless Eric's singles actually charted at all. Two more, and we'll go with this one here. I've showed this before, and this is 1983. A Song to the Siren by This Mortal Coil, and this reached number 66 in the charts. It's the Tim Buckley song. Yeah, it's absolutely haunting. It's beautiful, and I bought this when it came out. I couldn't stop playing it at the time. I couldn't understand why it was never a top 30 hit at least. And lastly, I'm going to pick an XTC song, and I've had quite a few that didn't make the top 40. But I've always had a soft spot for All You Pretty Girls from 1984. It's like a sea shanty, and it's really good fun. Andy Partridge song, reached 55, deserved to be far better. So that's 35, 36 or whatever singles that didn't hit the top 40 in the UK that I own. I hope you enjoyed that, and stay safe everybody. This virus hasn't gone away yet, so don't be tempted to change your ways and go out, because once you do that, then it'll all just explode again. So as I say, stay safe, all the best now, and I'll hope to have another video quite soon. Cheers now, bye bye.